Hello and welcome back to Matt Hayes Tottenham blog and to today's Premier League preview for the clash at Anfield against Liverpool tomorrow. Today I'm going to be going through team news, predicted lineups and much more ahead of the game, so make sure to stick around for that. But before I get into all of that, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe for more interactive live streams, match previews, reviews and breaking news videos. So to jump straight into Tottenham's team news from the other day, the only injury concern that we have at the moment is the one that we were expecting, Hugo Lloris, who will be out until the new year. We know Juan Foyth and Giovanni Lo Celso both returned to action on Tuesday, coming on as subs against Red Star Belgrade. Kyle Walker-Peters, he's been fit for a while now, but hasn't been in and around the squad yet. And as for Ryan Sessegnon, he's back training with the full squad this week, and he's back active on social media, posting about the training and the game ahead this weekend. So we are kind of expecting to see Sessegnon more than likely from the bench in this one. I'd be really surprised if he does start. So yeah, Hugo Lloris, the only injury concern for us. As for Liverpool, in his press conference yesterday, Jurgen Klopp had a few important things to say with regards to injuries. The first one was Trent Alexander-Arnold. He missed their Champions League game against Genk on Wednesday, but Klopp has said he was just ill, so he couldn't travel, but he's looking okay for this game at the weekend. One player who will more than likely be missing this one is Joel Matip. Klopp said he's not 100% sure whether or not he will be fit for this game, but at the moment it's not looking particularly likely. As for Andy Robertson, he was taken off after an hour in that Champions League game, but Klopp has confirmed he was just resting him. Robertson wasn't injured at all. And Xherdan Shaqiri, he will be out with a calf problem for this game. So a number of injury concerns for Liverpool there, but obviously they still have a really, really strong team, and it's worrying no matter what 11 they do put out because of the strength they do have. Now, as for predicted lineup for Tottenham, I think ideally we'd all like to see that team that we saw against Red Star on Tuesday. Even though we're obviously coming up against much stronger opposition, it's a team that for the first time this season played outstanding football for 90 minutes and really, really looked like they, not so much that they cared, but they gave absolutely everything from the first minute to the last. I mean, we saw players like Eric Lamela closing down the Red Star defence in added time. We're already 5-0 up. And that's the kind of thing that we need in this game tomorrow, because Liverpool, on an unbelievable run of form, not just this season but going back 2-3 years, especially at Anfield, it's going to be a really, really daunting task, and we need every player to be absolutely at their best. And I think keeping that consistency from the team we saw against Red Star would be the ideal thing here. I think if there was going to be one or two changes, perhaps Dele Alli for Christian Eriksen. It's not something I'd like to see, but it just feels like the type of thing that Pochettino would do, because having Eriksen in this kind of game, even though he's not been on the best of form, he only needs one or two moments to really change a game. And the fact that he does have that creative spark, a bit more than Dele Alli, that might be a change that Pochettino would opt for in this one. So just to run through that in full, it will be Paulo Gazzaniga in goal. Decent performance against Red Star, nothing special, but he wasn't asked to do much. Sergio Aurier in right back. Maybe he's not the best option for this game because of his defensive vulnerabilities, but you have to look at who else can we put there. I mean, you can say Sissoko, you can say Sanchez, but they both played so well in their respective positions on Tuesday, and they're not natural right backs. Juan Foyth hasn't played a full game for a long time now, so coming up against a player like Sadio Mane, it wouldn't be the best way for him to jump back into things, and we just haven't seen Kyle Walker-Peters since the game against Newcastle back in August. So the only real option there is Sergio Aurier. I think Alderweireld, he'd be a bit unlucky to miss out in this one, but because of how well Sanchez and Vertonghen did on Tuesday, Sanchez more so than Vertonghen, but I think Sanchez and Alderweireld, they're both right-sided centre-backs, so I think Vertonghen does have a bit of an advantage being left-footed. He'd be more likely to be selected in that team. Ben Davies in left-back, again, not the best performance, but we haven't seen anything great from Danny Rose either this season, so Ben Davies should probably get the nod there, again, mainly because of that game on Tuesday. In the midfield, Tanguy Ndombele and Moussa Sissoko. Harry Winks, again, unlucky to miss out, but this is what we need in our team. We need players like Alderweireld, like Harry Winks, who are really, really good players and usually walk into our team, but there's some good competition in there, even though it's only been one game. These are the kind of selection headaches that Pochettino needs to have from now on. And Ndombele and Sissoko were absolutely exceptional in that midfield on Tuesday. And then the three behind the striker being Lamela, Son and Ali, potentially Christian Eriksen. Then of course Harry Kane, an amazing performance from him on Tuesday, jumping straight back into that same role. Hopefully another couple of goals, who knows. Now I was going to run through some of the key stats ahead of this game, and it doesn't make very good reading for Tottenham fans. But we know that. We know we have a relatively poor record against Liverpool, and it's just the numbers really solidify that, I suppose. Liverpool have lost just one of their last 13 Premier League games with Tottenham, winning 8 of them, drawing 4. And of course, we did beat them at Wembley a little over 2 years ago, beating them 4-1. A really good day, that one, but it's not something we get quite often against Liverpool. Tottenham are winless in their last 8 away league games against Liverpool, drawing 3 and losing 5. Our last win came in May 2011, beating them 2-0 with goals from Rafael van der Vaart and Luka Modric. Feels like a really long time ago at this stage. We played Liverpool 3 times last season, and Liverpool, of course, won all 3 of them. They beat us in the league, home and away, and of course that Champions League final. They last won 4 in a row against them between 2013 and 2015, so not that long ago. But it was went up to a run of 5 then, so maybe an omen for the game ahead. This is one I find particularly interesting. This will be Tottenham's 25th Premier League game away from home against a side starting top of the table. They won their first such match 2-0 at Blackburn in November of 1992. But we are winless in our subsequent 23 games, drawing 3 and losing 20 of them. So a really, really horrid run of form away to teams top of the table, which, is in a sense something that you can excuse because, away to top of the table, you're away to the best team in the league at that time. But hopefully that'll be something that we can rectify tomorrow. And Liverpool have lost just one of their last 48 games in the Premier League, winning 39 of them. The defeat came at the Etihad in January of this year. At Anfield, Liverpool are unbeaten in 44 games, last losing against Sam Allardyce's Crystal Palace in 2017. So, I mean, there's no surprise that Liverpool are the all-out favourites for this game, and even as a Tottenham fan, trying to find the kind of a positive side of things or a nice way to swing it, Liverpool are more than likely going to be too much for us tomorrow. I mean, the football that they've played this season, they weren't at their best against United last weekend, but in a derby like that, all form goes out the window, as we know, playing the games against Arsenal and Chelsea over the years. But you'd imagine they will be back to their best. I mean, they scored 4 in the Champions League on Wednesday. Even though they did have a few nervy moments, Genk had a goal ruled out from Samatta, which would have drawn them level at 1-1 before Liverpool then kind of ran away with things. But it's going to be really, really tough tomorrow. Everyone knows that. The players know it. Poch knows it. They've even said as much. But if we can get any bit of kind of football played like we did against Red Star, even though I know I keep mentioning it, but it was a really poor opposition and we're up against one of the best teams in the world at the moment. The kind of football that we played and the quick passing in midfield, the really good movement off the ball, when you get that right, it can cause problems for any team in the world, because we know that fluid front four that we have in the style that Pochettino likes to play, they can cause problems for any team, and in the past they have. I mean, we've gone in the Champions League and we've beaten Real Madrid, and even in the Premier League we've gotten points away to Man City, away to Arsenal, away to Chelsea. We've beaten them at Stamford Bridge even. So the way the Pochettino plays can beat any team. It just needs the players in the pitch to do it properly, and we need every single one of them fighting for every single ball, chasing down every single pass, because if we are anything short of our best tomorrow, we could be humiliated, because Liverpool are absolutely ruthless, and we know how much they like to play against us. They've scored 4, 5, 6 against us more than once over the last decade or so. But as I said, anything is possible in the Premier League, and if we can get a result tomorrow, even just a draw like we did at the Etihad or the Emirates earlier in the season, it can give us a really good platform to push on and have a good festive period. Because as I've been saying, this is the part of the season where we do usually start picking up points, and we've seen it over the last 3 or 4 years. We've been top of the table over the festive period, and that can really change a season, because right now, we're in a bit of I wouldn't even call it a crisis, but we're stuck in a really, really bad run of form, and we're still only 4 or 5 points off the top 4. And I think looking at that Leicester game last night, of course winning 9-0 away to Southampton, this is kind of the first time where I've really actually taken them seriously as top 4 contenders, because it always felt just a team who are up there early on in the season, but they will fade away. They'll pick up a couple of injuries, maybe a few bad games, and they'll fall away and finish mid-table. But some of the results that they've had, obviously beating us at the King Power, but putting 5 past Newcastle and 9-0 away from home, which is an absolutely ridiculous thing to think about, even though it was a really poor Southampton side. I think Leicester now really do have to be taken as serious top 4 contenders. And then all of a sudden you've obviously Man City and Liverpool in there. You've Leicester, Arsenal, as much as it pains me to say it, at the moment they are looking good for top 4. Chelsea as well. And we just need to get in there. We need to get in the mix, because at the moment it doesn't look like we're going to be anywhere near it if this form continues. So this can be a really good game to, as I said, get that platform and just give us something to build on, because at the moment there's nothing there for us to do that. But look, only time will tell if we can get anything out of this game. Don't forget to put down in the comments below your thoughts and opinions on what you think is going to happen, predicted lineup and stuff like that. As I said, if you are new, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.